The cost of moving on land, loneliness, and crowdsourcing a farm. In the middle of my mad dash to save our horse farm from the creeping fingers of progress, someone who held a vast amount of power in my future said, "Just move 2 hours away. There are plenty of affordable farms outside the city." This person had never managed a farm or built a horse program. Their fate had never been tied to the land. To them, it seemed cut and dry. Just move. Around the same time, an equine professional took offense at my fundraising. She said riding programs lose their lease all the time. They find another barn to rent, or they close. She assumed I was asking for a handout because I was afraid of hard work. She was caught in the strange divisiveness that fills the comment sections of our favorite platforms, where asking for help is somehow offensive. Both positions are oversimplified and rooted in an outdated model of rugged individualism that might have worked 2 decades ago. But the landscape has shifted, even if the soil beneath our feet remains determinedly the same. If we're going to preserve what matters, we cannot do it alone. Community is as essential as food, and our food is tied to the land. Living and working beside the energy of a herd shows me that no organism thrives in isolation. Moving to a farm where the horses have the space to live outside and follow their biological rhythms reminds me that humans do ourselves harm when we try to go through life alone. Loneliness has become a universal crisis, even as our population reaches an all-time high. In 1830, the word individualism surfaced in the English language. Just 5 years after Lavender Hill, the farm I'm writing from, was built. The Enlightenment that preceded it brought a necessary shift. Humans began to think about personal liberty, compassion, and the rights of others. It also changed horsemanship. After centuries of barbaric Roman practices designed for warfare, this new awareness helped us see horses differently, as sentient beings with thoughts and feelings of their own. From that awakening grew the Baroque system, the foundation of classical training today. It still had roots in warfare, but it valued balance, clarity, and partnership over force. In this way, individualism helped us see a wider view, that our own freedom depends on honoring the autonomy of others. There is always the potential for harm when two beings meet, but we could no longer deny that we exist as centers of our own small universes within one vast constellation. As humans spread west across America, leaving traces of those classical methods along the way, the heart of what we now call natural horsemanship, that early ideal of freedom began to harden into a pathology of aloneness that still plagues us. I'm sitting in a field as a client walks beside a grazing horse. The herd surrounds her, peacefully munching as cars pass on a nearby road. It is sunset, and the light spreads over a meadow through the trees to the folding chair I've placed precariously on a hill. I sit and scribble in my notebook. I am both a part of this client's work, and I am separate. We are all sharing space in this field together. At the heart of my work, the farm exists for us to have a space to quieten into a quality of connection that can only happen beyond the busy noise of living. We share space with the horses, with each other, with the land. We allow our barriers to drop and our minds and hearts to open. We feel supported. We feel heard. We feel seen. And isn't that the whole point? Dr. Rebecca Gimenez Husted recently commented on one of my posts. She said, "There's nowhere to go with 8 billion of us. When my 88-year-old father was born in 1936, there were just over 2 billion. When I was born in 1967, there were 3.4 billion. There's going to be nothing left. I'm not cynical, I'm a realist. I travel all over the world, and everywhere I go, they're arguing over water, food, space. Until there's less of us, we're on a short trip to our species' manifest destiny. Use it up, throw it away, growth economy, until we run out of all of it and fight for what's left. It could be a beautiful planet, but we're not willing to make the hard choices to protect it for the long term. As land diminishes and the population grows, as people feel more and more alone, we need farms and fields and herds more than ever. That's why I'm crowdsourcing a farm. Because this work isn't just for me, it's for all of us. Together, we can show that caring for ourselves, each other, the animals, and the land is a collective art. Every generation must decide what it will protect. Some build walls, some build empires. I am trying to build a refuge, a place where horses and humans can remember how to belong to the earth and to each other. When I look out over the pastures of Lavender Hill, I see the old oaks that have watched 2 centuries of human movement. I see the pond holding the sky, the herd breathing in a rhythm with the wind. I think about the people who told me to move on, to start over, to let it all go. But I also think about everyone who showed up, who shared a post, sent a message, gave $1 or more, carried a fence board, or simply believed that keeping a farm like this intact for the public is an important act. Because it is. The future won't be built by us choosing to look away. It will be built by those who keep showing up on the same patch of ground, repairing what's been broken, and listening to the land long enough to hear what it's saying. That's why I'm here. This is what we're doing here. We're rooting into something older and wiser than progress as we hold space for the knowledge that community is our only way forward. If you believe in this work, if you've ever found peace in the presence of a horse or hope in a patch of land, I'm asking you to help us protect it. Every contribution to our GoFundMe keeps Lavender Hill, a 200-year-old farm, alive as a refuge for connection, education, and belonging. Together, we can prove that some things are still worth preserving. Love, Kim.